So yeah, I guess where do we begin? I guess we got to start with.
We're starting this
story.
podcast not because we want to. We're being forced to.
Yeah, this is being forced by our colleague.
Not being done by on our will.
No.
All held against our will. But why are we making this podcast?
No, the question is, what's the story? Where did this?
A lot of people I guess are interested in Skyluxe roofing, other roofing companies and stuff, and other roofers. So we're just here to talk about it quickly, in and out.
So where do we begin? Where did you start with Skyluxe?
Let's start from.
What's your
from the beginning of Skyluxe.
I started as a flat roofer. I needed a job in like 2013, and I decided I wanted to get into the trades. I met a guy at the gym, gave me a job as a roofer. Started as a laborer cleaning garbage. Within a few months, I was given the torch. Started torching, and then within a year, I was a foreman. A lot of the guys in that company were leaving, and then I got pushed into the foreman position just because he had nobody else to take over a project that we had on the go. It was like a big townhouse project, flat roof project, and I was kind of the most responsible one, even though I wasn't the most skilled torcher and stuff. I kind of had like good management, skills and stuff like that. And basically I got thrown into it, which was kind of a good thing. I was forced to learn right away, and I became a good torcher within a couple of years. I was pretty damn good. And that was it. Kept learning every year, trying to be better person, better at roofing, better at business. It's if you want to become successful at anything, it's all about self-improvement. I went from there, and then I guess the same thing happened in the administrative roles where other guys were leaving the company, so he needed an estimator. I was the next best guy. So I got thrown in there, started learning estimating. I basically learned every aspect of the business. It was a smaller roofing company, smaller residential projects, but I learned everything from A to Z. And then, I just decided it was time to go on my own, went on my own. Started roofing from day one. I think we started Skyluxe in 2017. I think in March we had our first project. It was a little flat roof project. It was me. I had my dad at the time, and then I had Jordan. He was one of the original guys. He came with me from the other roofing company. And it was us three starting a little flat roof project. And I had the idea of building up my social media since day one. So, I had cameras set up. I had time-lapse cameras set up on all projects because I just wanted to showcase the work we were doing and kind of what makes us different than other roofing companies. And that's basically what helped us grow very fast, I'd say. We got a pretty good following online within a few years. We had a couple videos go viral. Actually, one of the videos from that first project, it was just a video of me torching with a trowel. And I think it got 52,000 views. And I was like, what the fuck? Couldn't believe it. And it was, some of these torching videos just tend to go viral, because it's like skilled kind of work. People like to see it. A lot of other roofers like to compare themselves to that torture or whatever. We see it all the time. So then I knew I was onto something, and then I just went 10 times harder with the videos and with the work, and I ended up getting bigger projects and just kept going from there to the point where I had always the vision of building like a luxury kind of brand, which is why I have Luxe in the name. So I always had an idea I want to do good high-end work, the best projects, the best clients, the richest clients, the ones that want the rarest shit or the most complex shit. Why can't I do it? Of course I could. We figured out that niche, and we're kind of in that niche now. Although we also do regular houses too. We don't just do the high-end stuff, but we could do any type of roof now. It's we've done everything from A to Z. We've done zinc, slate, lead coated copper, everything. So we're well versed in every single type of roofing application now because, since day one we were on that road already. And from that point on, when I started my first project, we just kept going from there. The social media following kind of helped me build the employees as well. And I had, Felipe saw one of our videos. He's one of the originals as well. He saw one of our photo or videos, and then he messaged me, DM me, and I said, fuck it, I'll give you a shot. He came on one of the projects. I said, fuck, this guy works hard. I didn't know he was, but
he still is.
You probably should take that out. I don't know how people hate it.
Fuck. Yeah, so like to add on to that, like one day I was so I've been in the roofing industry now for 9 years, 10 years. So I did commercial roofing for my first 3 years. But every winter they would shut down, they would lay us off, and I needed something to do in the winter, right? I didn't want to just go on EI and sit at home, make minimum, I actually wanted to work. So one day I was sitting there and I saw on Instagram this post popped up, and I saw one of Mark's project. Actually, I don't even know how it popped up. He was doing a project on Dundas. It was a daycare, and I saw them using the kettle, and I was looking at it. And I was actually kind of laughing because they didn't look like I kind of could tell they didn't know too much about asphalt because of just the way they were running the kettle and this and that. But I liked the video, like it caught me, right? So I'm like, you know what? Let me message him, right? So I messaged him and I said, hey, I'm laid off right now. I need something to do for the winter. And he's like, I can give you a job. We're not too busy. It's because it is winter. And I'm like, you know what? Let's take the risk. And I was scared to make that jump because I felt comfortable where
I think anybody would be scared. Anybody's scared to make a leap when it comes to changing your career or your job.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's very stressful. But I
Sure.
think sometimes you gotta like just take things
get out of
into perspective.
your comfort zone.
The truth is, no matter what you do, no matter what leap you take, that old position is still waiting for you. You just have to look at it like that. If you want to go back and work for another company, let's say it didn't work out, there's tons of roofing companies out there. If you want to make a leap, a change of career, you can always go back. People think it's the end of the world. Oh my God. No, you can always go back. I don't want to sound like Gary Vee, but that's the way he talks about it as well, right? Like people like overthink certain things. Life isn't that as short as you think. Like you have lots of time to figure stuff out. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to get into the trades. I started roofing at $15 an hour, cleaning garbage. I didn't know where it was going to take me. Within a few months, I realized, shit, there's a lot of potential in roofing. Because, let's be real, a lot of roofers are kind of rough around the edges. A lot of roofing companies are rough around the edges. So when you see like a straight edge, smart guy doing roofing, it kind of stands out from the others. And there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, there's some rough roofers out there, that's for sure.
They're special characters.
Yeah.
They're special. The roofers are
Certain
a certain breed.
Yeah.
That's the word for it, right?
Not everyone can do it. I mean, it's hard work. It's not easy work,
Yeah.
right?
And it's crazy because when I first came, so I made the jump, right? And Mark was still working on the roof at that time. There was a few of us, and there was a couple projects. And he kind of wanted to start getting off the roof. But when I came, there was Jordan. He was pretty much the foreman, right? But I don't know. I guess he saw that I could lead. So one day he came to me and said, I want you to be the foreman, kind of take charge and take lead because I guess I have good leadership. So I kind of just slowly jumped into that role, and then Mark slowly started getting off the roof. And I think that the last project that he was actually on was a church that we did. And he said, I'll give you a truck. I like what you do. I like how you lead, and it kind of just went from there. And from that day on, Mark just got off the roof and.
Yeah,
And I think Philippe saw the potential in this company.
100%.
And, sometimes it's not always the best idea to work for a larger company. Like sometimes these guys that are growing, you can Philippe started, just within a couple of years, he got a promotion to become a project manager. He's a huge part of this company just because he's with us throughout the whole process. He's with us throughout the growth. Sometimes it's not always the best. If you have a good leader you're working for, that's maybe the most important thing, I think, personally, because you might work for a big company and you're just a number. I'm sure Philippe doesn't feel that way. We're all like we love working together. Like we're like the boys. Like every day we're working together trying to get stuff done. It's actually really enjoyable to work here. I enjoy it. I'm sure these guys do too.
Yeah.
It's like it's a very good environment, and it's better, I guess, sometimes, in my opinion, than just being a number for some large, huge company.
100%.
Yeah, and you sold me, like, we were on a cruise together, me and this guy, and he pretty much sold me on Skyluxe roofing on this cruise. I'm like, fuck, this guy's got like a vision. You know what I mean?
He pitched
Jerry,
He pitched me.
the idea.
Jerry asked to work for me 2 years before I think he.
So
even came
yeah,
over.
I'm like, listen, whenever you're ready. I saw it in his eye. I saw the vision. I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna fucking make something out of this company. So I'm like, oh, yo, whenever you're ready, if you need somebody on board to start estimating or sales, like I'm your guy.
Yeah, Jerry believed in me, and I believed in Jerry. So I always had Jerry in mind when I was ready to, get when I was ready for an estimator, I always had Jerry in mind. I knew Jerry was gonna be the guy, and it turned out he was. He completely killed the opportunity beyond words. So yeah, now we're here today. You know, once I got off the roof, I think I was just going around pricing projects. We had a couple foremen, couple trucks. We just got the shop. Or no, I got the shop. I think when you first got started here, we got.
Yeah, when I came in, the shop was empty.
It was a mess.
The only thing we had here, like
Yeah,
if you see the videos, the only thing we had, it wasn't even an office. All we had was a washroom there, and it was open. That's it.
Yeah. We built this office actually. Like it was in one winter. I think it was probably 2019, early 2019.
Yeah.
We probably built this office from scratch. We did it in like a few weeks. Did all the drywall ourselves. Got this mural made of all our projects. You can show that after. And this is the story. This is where we went from there. Then I was estimating everything. Once the estimating became too big for me, that's when I said, okay, now it's time to call Jerry. I called Jerry, and you know, we just believed in each other, and you know, we're really good at working together. So we just make shit happen every day.
That's it. I quit my job and that's it.
Took the lead.
No, I took the leap.
No regrets.
No questions asked. I'm like, fuck it,
regrets.
let's roll, let's do this. And then
Now we're killing roofs every
killing
day.
it. But the growth year has been like insane.
It's insane. It's
Like from especially when I first started, to see like what we're doing and like the scale of projects that we're doing
for
right
sure.
now, it's nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, we always had a crazy trajectory, I think, from day one. But
Yeah.
yeah, now it's like it's real. It's happening.
It's
So
real, yeah.
every year.
it's exciting.
The projects get bigger, more complex. New clients come along that, you know, big developers, big builders. They hear about Skyluxe. You know, that's the thing. A lot of people have bad. What's the word for it? The bad experiences with roofers. They have a bad name. Roofers have a bad name in
Yeah.
the trades.
Yeah.
Because the problem with roofs is anybody can get a truck, a ladder, and say they're a roofer. Like, you don't have to have a red seal. You don't have to go to school. Like, you have to be an HVAC technician or electrician. There's no roofing school. I think there is, but you don't get a red seal or anything. Anybody can be a roofer.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
can't
thing,
get a
so-
red seal in roofing.
There is one I heard about.
There is
but
a course, but
who
yeah,
really
you got to
right?
learn on the job,
Yeah.
basically. Like
And that's the thing.
I don't know.
A lot of those roofers.
I wasn't big on school or education. I actually didn't get my high school diploma.
Me neither.
I'm not a dumb guy. I just didn't like school. So, me personally, I have to learn in person. That's the only way I can learn. I don't have the attention span to sit in a class and stare at a blackboard all day.
I was the same.
My mind goes in 50 other places. So, yeah.
I think school's not for everybody, right?
I can tell you exactly where the changing point was in the company. One of the shingle roofs on the wall, basically somebody who was my friend referred me to somebody else who's a wealthy client, needed a re-roof done in Vaughan, big house. It was our biggest like kind of shingle project at the time. It was a bunch of flat roofs there too, but yeah, it was a complex little roof that we got done. And I took some sick videos at the time. I was the video guy back then. And I got better and better with the drone. And like, back then those videos were sick. Now they're kind of, when I look at them, I'm like, fuck, they're so shit. But at the time, the videos were pretty cool. They were getting a lot of views. Took some cool videos of us doing the turret and the guys hanging off ropes. That's why this podcast is called Hanging and Banging. And then from that point, I posted a bunch of stuff on a different social media app other than Instagram. Ended up getting a bunch of people seeing that. Ended up getting a client in Markham, Stouffville, reached out to me, said, hey, price my house. And I looked at this house and I'm like, holy fuck, it was huge.
That's the gaff house?
Slate house.
Yeah.
The gaff house.
Yeah.
It was the gaff house.
It was a
Yeah.
huge house. And basically, because he saw us doing another large home, but it wasn't on that same scale. This house was like, I think, 18,000 square feet or something. Stupid. It was big. Stouffville. Cedar Ridge.
Cedar Ridge.
So we ended up pricing Cedar Ridge. I wanted to get in the door, so, you know, I priced it low. At the time, I needed jobs. I did what I had to do to make money. I didn't make money in the first few years. I just got the work. It wasn't, you know, I wanted to build the company. I wanted to get the projects. The project was the most important thing at the time. So I made no money in the job, but it's all good. It was one of the staples in our
Stepping points.
Yeah, staples and stepping points in our, you know, resume. And then we killed that job. Came out amazing. It was Gaff Camelot Ultra shingle job, and then we did Suprema Flats, skylights, all kinds of stuff. Huge house, massive. And from there we got Persona. Persona was down the street. Persona was another big one, and then it was like fuck.
That's when I started.
After that
Persona.
job, we're like, okay, we could do any house.
Yeah.
This house was like another level compared even to that one.
Yeah, Persona
was a monster, and Persona took like 3-4 years because we were waiting on them, and COVID hit and all this stuff. So, you know, made it happen, and we got these projects done, and we did them properly, like everything to spec, done properly. You know, beautiful details and
All the
stuff like
zinc,
that. All the zinc.
Something like that opens the door for.
And it opened the door for a bunch of other stuff. Then from there we got Knudsen. You know, Knudsen was the sickest
another
project
monster.
we did.
Jeez.
For me, the most beautiful.
I love
the most beautiful roof we've done.
I think, my opinion.
You know, it all started basically from that one friend who referred me to one house that was in Vaughan, and it just basically went from there. But a lot of people I find get the projects, and then they don't market them. I marketed them. I think that's the difference. You know, I just like, fuck this. I'm going to post 10 videos in this house. And I did. And people saw it. Back then, Instagram got a lot of views. Nowadays, it's not the same.
There's a lot of competitors.
There's a lot of competitors. Let's be real.
Yeah,
a lot
every
of these,
roofing company out there is doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 7 years.
Let's be real. The guys on Instagram now are doing what I've been doing for 5 years. A lot of them are. It's all good. It's normal.
They
Whatever.
see
I'm trying to change our kind of social media.
They see that it's working.
Yeah,
Social media. I'm
I'm
trying to change our social media kind of like approach now to doing different things. That's why I'm doing this podcast. A lot of these guys, saw another guy today, one of our competitors, he put luxury roofing in his description on Instagram. So I think I was the first one. I was the first one who did that, but it's okay. It doesn't matter.
There's room to eat. Everybody can eat. Like the roofs are endless. Like, you know what I mean? So,
but yeah, here we are.
On our first podcast.
That's right.
The
Little
boys.
test run, I guess.
So we've had like a bunch of, obviously, a lot of employees here. What's like the most annoying thing about employees or about roofers that we go through on a day-to-day?
That's easy.
I don't know. For me, like this industry, like people come and go. I've been in it for 10 years. There's people that come, they last one day, and they go home.
The most annoying thing about roofers is that every roofer thinks they're the best fucking roofer on the planet. And they all know everything. They can't learn anything. The reason why I think I have gotten anywhere in life is because I'm always constantly trying to learn new things. If you think you know everything, you're already done. And a lot of these roofers, especially on like Instagram, like I have people fucking from Germany commenting on my TikTok posts saying, "What the fuck? You're torching vapor barrier to concrete. It's gonna crack." Like,
but they don't understand.
Suprema's like we follow everything to manufacturer standards.
Yeah.
If the manufacturer says it's good, who is this guy on TikTok to tell me it's not good?
Yeah.
So these guys, everyone thinks they fucking know everything. You know, it's all good. Some guys, you know, prefer certain ways of doing things, which is fine. You know, I had a guy comment on Neil's post saying, "Oh, why are you using a trowel? You should be using a roller." Both work. Like, there's nothing wrong with either. I've used both. Both 100%. Work. I personally prefer the roller too, but I use the trowel. The trowel works. You know, yeah, you have to have an open mind. Can't think you know everything. A lot of these roofers just think they're the best on the planet, and that'll get you nowhere very fast.
They have high egos. Definitely.
Yeah, and then like even like for interviewing or people wanting to come in for work, like if you book a fucking interview, show up.
That's Gen Z. That's nothing to do with
get
roofers.
the fuck out of here.
That's Gen Z.
Yeah, that is Gen Z. That is Gen Z.
That is Gen Z.
Nobody wants to work today.
I think I'm still part of Gen Z.
Nobody wants to work. Yeah, you're a Gen Z.
I'm different too.
Yeah,
you know, I'm 35. I don't even know what am I.
A baby boomer.
I don't even know
what am I. I don't even know.
What is 35? I'm 35 too.
The millennials. I don't know.
No, I'm 36.
Are we millennials?
What 35?
What are we?
I don't even know.
Either way,
we're not millennials.
I'm kind of different than a lot of people. So
yeah,
a lot of these guys. Like,
we're the best generation.
A lot of these guys look at the trades like it's a, you know, frowned upon. I don't get that.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that. Like, I mean, the school's not for everybody. I knew that. So one day I just stopped stopped studying, and I said, "Listen, I'm gonna go to work." From 16.
What else? What else, boys? What else is annoying as shit?
Philippe's face.
Philippe's face.
Just joking. Okay,
God.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Hanging and Bangin
Hangin' and
podcast,
Bangin'.
episode 1.
That's it. Let's
It's
go.
a wrap.